Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Shattered Glass Deluxe Class Flame War and Fireglide figure. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to unbox it live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at her in both of her modes to help you decide how you want to display her, and of course use Fireglide to power her up. We're also going to see how she compares with the original owner and indeed the previous most recent release of figure using the particular mold, and of course because it's shattered glass we can see how she looks and displays with some of the other shattered glass figures that have been released pretty much in the same toy lines either this year or the last. So as I start to pack all these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. So before we open it up, let's have a look at the box. It is windowless. There's a teeny bit come away there. It's not actually damaged too much. It's okay. We've got the full robot of her there looking fantastic. We've got the bust, I suppose, yeah, head and upper torso part there, and indeed the robot there again with the Battle Master. Now I need to thank Hasbro Pulse because that's who I ordered this from, and as you can see they got it out to me, I'm going to say nice and safely because that's not too detrimental at all in honesty. Right, quickly before we open the box up, let's just have a very quick look at the comic. We're not going to go through it all for obvious reasons, but I just want to show you without the cellophane reflecting the exclusive cover that comes with the Hasbro Pulse order. So it is reflective, you can see there, you've got the reflective silver there, beautiful artwork, and indeed great stories and great artwork in here as well. Now usually there's a bit of a tease as what the next one is, but of course we already know who it is. But what I'm more intrigued about is the fact that we keep seeing this Titan Metroplex or Metro Titan or whatever shattered glass, so fingers crossed for the future. Anyway, right, let's have a go at getting her out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bottom. It's a little bit easier that way. What I actually like this time is that Fireglide has got its own place on the backing card. What I mean by that is of course the exosuit that came with Slicer, because I suppose it was classed as accessories, it was just in a bag at the bottom of the packaging, whereas obviously there you can see Fireglide, and indeed there is the rest of the accessories, quite a bit of them. So what I need to do right now then is set her free from there and come back and do some first impressions with you. Okay then, so as you can see we've set her free from the packaging, but before we do some first impressions we've actually got to complete the full assembly of her, because along with the blast effect and the split discs that were in the bottom of the packet, there was also the front wheel and the front of the motorcycle. So what we need to do, we need to turn our attention to the back. We're going to fold this bit up slightly, we're just going to sink that into the back there as well. Right, we've got a big cutout there and a huge tab on the front right there of the motorcycle, so this is going to fit into position like so. And then we've got the front wheel as well, which is also going to slot into position. Now I think we can just angle this down. There we go. But before we, as I say, look at how to display it, let's have a look at the actual figure itself. Now the head sculpt is fantastic. We've got some lovely, I think they're purple eyes. It's light piping in the back. Yes, it is. So that will look brilliant with the light shining through on it. The red details really well. So does the yellow spike. And the silver, hopefully you can see on this camera, is actually reflective. It looks very, very good. It's on a ball joint, so it's got full articulation all the way around, looks up and down, etc. Shoulders will go around and back, out to the sides. There's, I suppose it's classed as a bicep swivel, but it's just underneath the shoulder there. There's a bicep flexion, and there's even a wrist swivel as well, even though it's nice and tiny. Same on the other side. Now waist swivel is small, it is only small, and it's mainly due for transformation, to be honest. I think you could probably set that free, and yeah, you probably put a bit of a stress and a strain on it, to be honest. So not a full waist swivel, I don't think. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Hips though, as you can see, all the way out, huge range of motion past the point of horizontal, it can go right up, knee flexion, and you've got Does it rock? Yes, you've got an ankle tilt and a rock as well. Loads of other detail. The flame detail on the chest is brilliant. The red and the yellows just really well. I think this is definitely my favourite use of this mould, and I really liked the arcee mould anyway. This purple bit down here is reflective, and again, it's just looking great. Right, let's have a very quick look at fireglide. Again, as you'd expect, nice and standard. We've got the fold out feet. Yeah, there we go. So there we've got, I suppose, in beast mode, and looks okay. Blast effect, nice. I think that's the same as jackpots, to be honest. I'll have a quick look and maybe compare in a bit. And then of course we've got this, which should split in two, which it does. And again, you've got the translucent purple plastic, which is pretty much the same, and it does go see-through as on the back of her head. Right, what we need to do now then is have a quick look at her in alternate mode before coming back to see how she displays and to do some more comparisons. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, she's in alternate mode already. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video for a couple of reasons. That is, one, to keep the main length of this video down, and two, is not to spoil it for anybody else who wants to experience that first transformation process for themselves, because it's a new figure. However, let's have a look. It looks brilliant. The flame detail is amazing. There's like a grill mould effect there. The wheels, of course, will turn either way, as in, sorry, all the way around if you wanted to, because you saw we attached it separately. The wheels, they do go round to some extent. They don't flow super freely, in all honesty, but that is because this is obviously two separate pieces stuck together. With regards, I suppose, to it being a transformer and a robot in disguise, it's a pretty good one, to be honest. There's just fists there at the back, oh, and the head underneath, but otherwise it does the job. It's brilliant. The translucent purple at the front in the headlights and on the visor at the front, it's just brilliant. The kickstand there, gunmetal grey, looks fantastic. As I've said, I think it looks really, really good. So we've got this accessory, which can be used in a couple of ways on this particular mode. So you can either pop one in each of these on the back seat, and I suppose with a little bit more light, it would look that little bit better, because it really is a lovely, lovely shade of that translucent purple colour. Or we can attach them here on the back, which perhaps looks a bit good as well. And I'm just wondering, now we can do it with Junkians, can we do it with arcees? Can we put arcee on? Now I suppose you can. Whether or not she'll ride it or not, I don't really know. So let's also have a quick look at Road Rocket, because I've got the other things on arcee which are getting in the way. If we could use these back bits as a bit like stunt nuts or stabilizers. No, it doesn't really work as well. You sort of can get away with it, in all honesty, but not as well as you can, of course, with everything else. I don't really have much more to say about the alternate mode, apart from the fact that it is great. There's detail there of the exhaust, detail on the engine. As I say, there's grill. It's just really good, really, really good. What we need to do now, then, we need to come back for the final time with her in a robot mode to do some comparisons and see how she displays. Okay, then we're back for the final time with her in a robot mode, and now we're going to see how we can display and use her accessories, because apart from having, of course, the Battlemaster, of course, fireglide, we've got loads of other things that you can do, and it's brilliant. And we can start off just with these, so we can put one of these in each hand if we wanted to. This is probably one of the more weaker, I suppose, displays with them. It doesn't look too great, in honesty. I think they look better if we're going to be using them individually. I think they look better one on each forearm, which, to be honest, is what I've done with arcee. So what I think I'll do, even though we're not going to be doing the comparisons just yet, what I'm going to do is, because I can then obviously show you with each different figures the way that I've decided to display them slightly differently. So there's arcee, and there you can see she's got them one on each side of her forearms. Now what we can also do with this, we can get this together, take them out rather, we can get them together, we can join them like so, and then this can be used a bit like a throw star. But again, that's more for sort of G2 Road Rocket, but you can attach it there. It will go no problem whatsoever. And again, as I say, because I'm doing a few comparisons, that is in fact what I've done with Road Rocket there. So let's pop this figure there as well, just so you can see that. But then what also you can do, and this is brilliant, you can take off the front wheel, and then there's a few different ways that you can choose to do this. So we can separate the front wheel like we do the back. We've got this, which will of course fit in a hand as well. So we've got that as a weapon like so, and then indeed again we can attach one of these into each hand if we wanted to. Now the other thing that you could do as well is, because this is open and there's a tab there, if we carefully just move this down a teeny bit, we could attach this behind like so. Now that looks brilliant on her. Look at that, the color scheme just works fantastic with that. And then I've got a choice of what I'm going to do with what we're going to do, as I say, with this split up, but I'm sure you'll agree, I think that looks absolutely brilliant. I'm just having a quick look at the instructions. I can't see anything else that it's suggesting that we do. I think I've pretty much covered all bases there, or I could just keep it fully built up like so and attach to the side of the forearm like that. I don't really know. I'm a bit spoiled for choice, to be fair. And this is before we even have a look at fireglide and what we can do with that accessory. Right, this is so poseable. There's so many joints that are moving around, so apologies. That's why they look a little bit on the squiffs. Of course, we can take this. We're going to use that. Let's fold this over, fold these in, and indeed, let's attach the blast effect. So I suppose it's going to go a bit like this, right on there. There we go. Is that how they've got it as well? Let's have a quick look on the back of the box. I'm sure it is something like that. Yeah, they've got the wings out and the blast effect like so. In fact, they've also got the blast effect on the side like that, which looks, I suppose, rather good as well. Let's fold that in. And this is what's going to make it really top heavy now. So let's have a look. No, hopefully I can get it to counterbalance just a little. too many ideas, too many display ideas. Again, just so much fun and so much playability. And I think that's what I do really like about these figures, and with the extra accessories. And I know it puts them up into a different price point, but I think, again, if they're doing things like this, which does give you the playability and the extra options, then it's definitely worth it. I've also noticed, obviously, on arcees that I've folded them out just for a bit of a different display as well. But that's enough for the same mold. Let's see how she looks and displays with some of the other shattered glass figures that we've had this year, and indeed some of the other older ones as well. So I've got, just to give you, I suppose, a scale idea, we know that she's deluxe size because she's using arcee's mould, so she's a bit smaller, of course, than the Voyager, and indeed, but she's then bigger than this deluxe one as well. I absolutely love this line. I keep saying it, I just think it's great, and I think this one at the moment has just topped it, just for the whole paint scheme. Although it's not even 100% shattered glass, it's just great. She looks fantastic, and if we ever do get a Metro Titan or a Titan class shattered glass figure, it'll just complement these ever so well. I think I've pretty much covered everything on here. If there's anything I've missed, of course, please let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've either got her or you're thinking of picking her up as well. Take care, guys.